Hi, this is Asian Runner, and I'll be explaining today how I'm running the Olympic Marathon in Paris 2024. Hi, I'm Asian Runner. This is a channel where we talk about all things running, from reviews of equipment to events. I'm going to be talking today about the Olympic Marathon in Paris 2024. Now, this is a really unique opportunity that I've got where I've won an entry into the official Olympic Marathon next year. Now, this is not actually the elite race, so I won't be running against the athletes that are going for the actual gold medal in the countries. But for the first time in history, they're actually going to be organising a mass participation race where people are going to run the exact same course on the same weekend in the same Olympic city in Paris, but this will be run at a different time to the elites. So the way they've organised it is that the men's will be running in the morning of the 10th of August. Then this race will be especially run for people from outside. And then the women's race will be run in the next day on this Sunday morning. Now, why is this a special race? Well, this race is the first time in history that they've allowed everyday participants and amateur runners, people like me, to be able to run the marathon course as well. It's exactly the same course that the Olympic people run on, so the exact same roads where the Olympic gold medal will be won will be the exact same course that I will be able to participate in and others will be able to participate in as well. Same race closures, same race support. It's also a really unique event because they're closing roads, especially in Paris, for us to run this race, and with the same crowd support and course support and people around us. It's also a real unique event because they're running this in the evening, so they don't want to clash with the official times for the actual athletes. So they're starting this race at 9 p.m. at night, and then finishing at any time after that. Now, there are actually two races that they're running. So the first is the full marathon distance, which runs on exactly the same course as the Olympic Marathon. But they're also running a 10K event as well, and the 10K event starts a bit later, and then it also goes through the streets of Paris, with passing a lot of the major sites also being run really late in the evening as well. Now, with that, there are exactly 20,024 entries for the marathon, and then 20,024 entrants for the 10K, so a total of 40,000 entrants. Now, this marathon is that people can participate in is officially called the Marathon pour Tous, or the Marathon for All. This is different to the Paris Marathon that is actually run every year. That's run at a different time, completely different course. This is the Marathon pour Tous, which is a one-off special event. Now I'm going to talk about how you can get an entry and how I got an entry as well. Now, it is pretty late to get an entry if you want to run this race as well. And the only way to get an entry is to win an entry. You can't enter a ballot, can't pay for it, can't go through a tour group. Maybe you can go through a sponsor, but the only way to actually get an entry like what I did is actually to win it. Now, the official website says there are 3 ways for you to do that. The first way is to register on the Club Paris website, so clubparis2024.org website. From this, when you register, you can enter in your activities, whether that be running, walking, exercise activities, cycling, basketball, whatever. From this, you can gather a total of points, and when you get up to 100,000 points, then you can enter a ballot to win an entry into one of these races. So that's one way you can enter. Second way to enter is the way that I got in, which is through the Marathon pour Tous MPT app. Now, for this app, it's a free app, you register for it, and then you just log your activities as well. Within these apps, there are various challenges. Now, these challenges, there are about 4 or 5 challenges per month. And the challenge are things you need to do. When you complete the challenge, then you can enter into a ballot to win a small number of bibs. Now, those challenges might be things like run a certain amount of kilometers. So it might be a total distance of, let's say, 20 kilometers in a week, or it might be to run 3 times 10 kilometers over the month, or maybe to run a total distance over a month as well. There are a few unusual challenges like run, half an hour between the hours of 10 p.m. and midnight, things like that. It was pretty hard to get an entry via these challenges because usually for each challenge about maybe 10 or 20,000 people might enter for each challenge, and they might only have anywhere between 50 to 200 ballot entries per challenge. So it was pretty hard to do that, but obviously there were many challenges throughout the year, and they started back in sort of November, December, all the way till now. Now, December is actually the last month that they'll be releasing the challenges, so if you do want to have a go at winning an entry, this might be your last chance over the month of December. There's still maybe 2 or 3 or 4 challenges left. Hopefully, if you do enter them, who knows, you might get lucky. And then the last way that people could enter into this race is by local races. So people live locally in the area. There are various local races that have, if you win or do a certain part in that local race, then you can get an entry as well. They also said on the website about following the social account of Team Orange Running. Now, Orange is a telecommunications company, and then Team Orange Running had various competitions, either answering questions, winning a bib, signing up for certain things, running certain races, and then you could win a bib as well. Now, one of the things that Team Orange organised, and one way that quite a lot of people won bibs, was about a couple of years ago. They ran a special one-off 5-kilometre race, where the general public would race against a marathon elite athlete. And that elite athlete was Eliud Kipchoge, of course, the famous marathon runner who's won many, many marathons and also previously had the world record. Now, they staged this race, so then he would run 5 kilometers, the same as the participants, and whoever beat Eliud Kipchoge in the 5-kilometer race would win an entry into this marathon race. Now, of course, they gave the general public a head start. Kipchoge was well far back, but anyone who apparently beat him, there was a few thousand people apparently who did beat him, won entry into the Marathon Portois Olympic marathon race. Now, how did I gain entry? Well, I got entry the second way through the MPT app, where I did various challenges throughout the year, and then just in hope that I'd get a ballot entry through during the challenges. And it was all an automatic system. You just log the activities that you do, and then if you get lucky, you get an email. So what happened initially was a few months back, I did get an email. That email was entirely in French, and it had the MPT official, looked like official account. And when I got that email, I couldn't read it because it was all in French, but I got someone to translate it, and it actually said that I had gained a chance to be in the ballot for the 10K race. And I was like, just a chance to be in the ballot? It didn't actually say whether I officially won it or not, or what it was. So I thought, oh, well, maybe there was just a chance to be in the ballot. I entered it, didn't hear back from them, so I assumed that I didn't get that ballot entry. Then about a month later, I got another email from exactly the same group and same email address, and it had the official words of, congratulations, you have won an entry into the Marathon Portois, the Olympic marathon race in Paris in 2024. And of course I was really excited, and it was great, and great that I actually got an entry for it. Now, what does the entry actually include? So, because you don't pay for it, you don't actually get anything from the entry. You have to actually win it. I'm assuming that the entry that what you get is the race entry and the course support. I'm assuming there hasn't been a lot of details at all since then, though. What they specifically say on the website that the entry does not include, and that is the travel and the accommodation. So you have to find your own accommodation in Paris for this race, and you got to get there yourself. Now, for people who live locally, it could be pretty easy, but for people like myself who live internationally, this is really, really big logistical issues. How to get to Paris right in the middle of the time where it's going to be super, super busy because of the Olympics, a lot of people visiting at the time, and how do you get accommodation, which is going to be absolutely skyrocket high price. So I'm going to create some other videos about what I've arranged so far in terms of the travel logistics and where I might be staying. And then I'd love to also release some videos about more details about the course, what it might be like. And finally, another video about my training. And I'd really, really love to release a video log of the actual experience, the weekend, and hopefully the race itself. So please look out for that in the coming few months. So that's how I got entry into the 2024 Olympic Marathon race. I'm sure there might be many of you out there who love to be in this race as well. So please visit the websites that I mentioned. If you do win an entry, it'd be great to be able to meet up or to run this race together. I'm really excited about it. I've got quite a number of months to train, but really looking forward to it as my big race for 2024. So yeah, so if you have any comments, please leave them below. And as always, go Asian, go running.